We're back at it again with another Battlefront update. Today we received some major news from DICE regarding the upcoming game update, which originally was to drop tomorrow on Thursday the 30th. The reason I say originally to be released on that date is now due to an official confirmation stating that the update has been delayed to a later date. We've got the full details on that story. And at the same time, we also have a lot of other key information of additions and fixes that will be coming in that update, such as Vader's new Force Choke ability, new voiceover announcers, and more. Along with that, the event list for February has also been leaked, and now we know pretty much everything event-wise happening next month. As always, we'll be covering all of this and more in today's video. And before we get into any of that, but a quick reminder, as if you do like these type of videos, then do remember to give it a like to show your support for not only this update series, but also the content within it. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Jumping into the breaking news of the day, yes, it's unfortunately true and officially confirmed by community manager Ben Walk that the release of the upcoming January game update has been pushed back. Without a doubt, this isn't news that we all wanted to hear, especially a day right before we were supposed to get it. This is the official statement regarding the delay from Ben Walk. Hey everyone, just wanted to drop a quick note about the update that was due to release on January 30th. During our testing, we found a critical issue that means we will be pushing the update to early next week. We already have a new build going through its regular pre-release checks and things are looking positive. Unfortunately, this is sometimes the reality in game development where testing continues right until an update is deployed onto our live servers. Although disappointing, we feel that it is much better we find the issue now, rather than have it slip through and make it into our live servers. We'll bring you a more concrete release window as soon as our pre-release work is complete and everything is in the green. Suffice to say, a lot of people are upset, especially those who even took a day off of work just to play it. However, given that the reason for the delay is supposedly due to a critical issue, then I'd say DICE have got a pretty good reason to do so. And believe me, I'm excited about the update as much as the next person, but I'd much rather they fix it and polish it up instead of releasing a buggy mess that will likely anger more people than make happy. And speaking about critical issues, yeah, it's pretty bad. According to Ben, the issue DICE were dealing with is that under certain circumstances, not 100% of the time, you would be unable to deal damage to opponents while playing Capital Supremacy. If this had made its way into the game, it would have been unpleasant. Oh yeah, you've got that right. Imagine jumping into the new sequel-era Capital Supremacy maps all excited and then unable to kill anyone. You'd likely get pissed off in a matter of minutes, shut off the game, and go play something else instead. As for the new release date of the January game update, as Ben outlined, it's looking most likely it will be now dropping sometime early next week. Although it's impossible to determine what day as DICE themselves don't know, but seeing as they've apparently got things under control now, then chances are very good it could be either Monday or Tuesday. I'd personally set my expectations to it being on Tuesday, just to be on the safe side. Anyways, as always, we'll of course be keeping you updated on any new developments on this story. In the meantime, DICE will be enabling triple XP for this weekend to help make up for the delay. Now with the worst possible news we could have got today out of the way, let's now turn our focus to some of the good news featuring details on what will be included in the January game update. Or should I say the early February game update, but yeah, you get the idea. For example, we knew before that for sure Vader's change to his Force Choke ability would be best compared to his short mass murder scene in Rogue One. Some people didn't quite get the reference there before, so instead Ben has laid it out on the table. And yeah, for the first time in the game, Vader will now be able to block attacks while at the same time using his Force Choke ability. A major game changer for the Sith Lord formerly known as Anakin. Of course, at the same time, we still don't know if the damage reduction on Vader's choke will be getting removed as a result of this change or continue to stay. So that will be interesting to see. In addition to the Vader news, Ben as well confirmed about auto players now being able to carry out melee attacks, along with droidicas receiving a slight increase in their shield health, as well getting some damage reduction while in wheel form. However, no word yet if there will also be a reduced damage drop-off coming for them too, although I wouldn't hold my breath for that to come in this game update. Another neat addition coming in the next update is the inclusion of era-specific voiceover announcers. As stated by Ben, announcers will now mention the era-appropriate heroes that spawn. Such for example, if you're on a sequel trilogy map and spawn as Kylo Ren, then the announcer will alert players by saying something like the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren has arrived on the battlefield. However, if you spawn as a hero from a different era than the map era you're playing on, then there won't be any new announcement. In addition to that, Finn and Kylo Ren will also both be getting new emotes added to the game, which players can unlock via new milestones. As a final reminder, the new update will also be including 2 new heroes in BB-8 and BB-9E. BB-8 will be a more offensive-minded hero, while BB-9E will focus more on support instead. This will also be reflected in their HP values, with BB-8 getting 650 HP while BB-9E getting 50 less than that. Not a big change, but enough to give you an idea that BB-8 should be able to take more hits, especially since it is more attack-oriented. On that note, both new heroes will come with 4 emotes, 3 abilities, and as well 3 passives. And yes, BB-8 will be able to do his flashlight thumbs up emote too. Regarding other heroes, we last heard that Bossk will be getting some much needed fixes in this next update, but we didn't know what they would all be per se. Fortunately, Ben has filled us in on that department, revealing that DICE have now timed the UI elements of Bossk's proximity mines to reflect the moment when they actually become armed. For example, the moment they can start to detect enemies in its vicinity. Now, when you see the yellow radius circles appear around the mines, you know that they have become armed. This will also make it easier to experience the improvement to their arming speed that the Star Card Trap arming speed brings. DICE have also fixed an issue where Bossk would throw only 3 functional proximity mines while having the multi-trap star card equipped, and an issue where the active time of Bossk's ability Predator Instincts was ending before intended. All in all, some solid work done by DICE to help make Bossk a daunting villain on the Battlefront again. And while we're still on the topic of heroes, Benoit has made it crystal clear that there will not be any new skins arriving in the next update either. I know some people were hoping for DICE to low-key drop something new in there, but unfortunately that won't be happening, at least not for this next update. And thanks to PlayStation 4's online service of all places, the event list for Battlefront 2's community calendar in February has been leaked a week ahead of time. It reveals that starting January 31st to February 3rd will be a fast spawn event for assault modes, a Heroes Unleashed Battle Point event from the 7th to the 10th, a Boots on the Ground Battle Point event in mid-February, a Reinforcements Battle Point event from the 21st to the 24th, and lastly a Triple XP event starting from the 28th to March 2nd. It should be noted that DICE did comment on the leak, stating that some events are still being locked down and waiting approval, but for the most part they did confirm the validity of this calendar. It's also interesting to note that none of the images in the calendar feature any original trilogy characters, which would put the question if we are revisiting that era in next month's update. Because that was always the question here, is February the month of original trilogy content for Capital Supremacy and co-op, or is it when DICE will focus on a return back to Clone Wars content with Ahsoka and Ventress getting released due to Season 7? Personally, I still find it more reasonable that DICE would want to finish and put out the original trilogy content first, rather than ending their break from Clone Wars this soon to only go back on break again to give us original trilogy Capital Supremacy and co-op, for example. On the other hand, I wouldn't put too much thought about the graphics being used here, as the January community calendar featured only Clone Wars images, even though we all know this whole month has been all about the sequel trilogy. Either way, I did want to make a mention of this, as I know there will be some people speculating on this sort of thing once they do see this calendar, so don't worry. But that'll do it for this Battlefront update. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.